My name is Jennifer Lacano. In today's video, I will show you how you can use Google Forms to check your students' performance as well as their homework completion. While the activity that I will use in this demonstration is from the reading and writing section of the prep program, I'm confident that you'll be able to think of ways to use these tools in your own lessons and using your own materials. Before I show you how to create a Google Form as a quiz, I want to share briefly why I'm using Google Forms and how it can be helpful. In the previous module, I often assigned extra reading and video homework. We didn't usually have time to review the answers together in class, so I asked students to send me their answers by email. A few days later, I would post the answers and ask students to send me any questions they had about items they might have missed. Unfortunately, very few students sent me their answers or questions they had about the materials, so I had no way of checking whether they had done the homework or how they performed on the homework. Google Forms allows me to see at a glance how many students have responded and which questions they had trouble with. Let's take a look at my Week 1 homework assignment. If we go to responses, it looks like there are 12 students that responded to the homework. When we drill down, we see that that number is actually 10. One of them is my sample student here, and Helene Pinar answered twice. In this section, Google Forms tells you which questions your students had the most trouble with. If you want to look at individual questions and a breakdown of the way students answered, you can see that here. You can also look at an individual student's responses by clicking here on Individual and then selecting the student you want to view. Let's take a look at my sample student. It looks like she did all right in the first section. She missed one here, but most of her others are correct. Here, Google Forms shows me that the incorrect answer was because of a word form problem. So it can be really helpful to see what your students are having trouble with. Before we can collect this helpful information, however, we need to set up the Google form. So first you'll need to go to Google Forms, which is really easy to find. I always choose the personal option here. You will need to have a Google account in order to do this. So now we can go up here to start a new form, blank, and click on the plus sign. I like to set these up as quizzes so that my students will be able to see their scores and also the correct answers immediately after they have submitted their homework form. So in order to set it up as a quiz, you can go up here to Settings and then click on Quizzes, make this a quiz. I usually don't change the default settings here. Now save. Let's call this one Week 3 homework, and we'll be using this reading text called Can Blind People Make Great Architects? So let's go ahead and put that title here. My first question, I always ask the students for their name so that they will get credit for doing their homework. You'll notice that when I typed your name, Google Forms automatically changed this question format to short answer. I always make this one required, which means that students have to answer in order to submit their form. Now we can start adding our question items. So let's take a look at our handout again. We can see that there are 6 short answer questions and 6 matching questions. So let's add question number 1. You can retype the whole question here, but I usually just use shorthand and write the question number. And we said this is a short answer type of question. So because I've set this up as a quiz, you'll need to include an answer key and a point value. I usually just make mine worth 1 point each so that students can see quickly how many questions they got correct. So now we'll need to add our correct answer. So we can go to our answer key and either copy and paste, or you can retype the answer here. Click Done, and now your first question is set. To add a next question, the next question, you can either click on the plus sign here and go through the whole process again. Or, here's a shortcut. If it's the same type of question, you can click here on duplicate. So now, the next question is set up as a short answer question. It already has the 1-point value, but I do need to change a couple of things. Make this number 2, and I also need to update my answer key. So the answer for number 2 is 5 days. Let's go ahead and copy and paste. And this is a situation where I would recommend adding another correct answer using the number 5 instead of the word 5. Click Done, and now your second question is in place. Let's skip ahead to the matching section. As we said, there are 6 matching questions. So because there are a different type of question, I'm not going to use the duplicate function here. I'm going to add the plus add question. And this is matching. And Google Forms is really smart. It anticipated that for my matching, I might want to use a multiple choice grid. So here, let's say question 1, question 2, and our answers go through the letters A, B, C, D, E, and F. Now remember, you will need to add the answer key here. So you'll need to add the points value. Again, we'll make all of these worth 1 point. And you'll need to put in the answers. So they are C, E, D. F, A, B. Click Done, and now your matching questions are set up. So if you want to see what this will look like for students, you can go up here to this eye, and if you hover over it, it's called Preview. So click on that, and this is how it will look for students. So again, this is the only required question right now. But you'll see that the matching, they could select A, etc. So hopefully this has been helpful for you to see how you can set up a homework collection form for your students on Google Forms. If you'd like more information about Google Forms, I will put a link to a written instructional for getting started with Google Forms. I will also put a link in the description of this video to a separate video that focuses on how to embed and integrate Google Forms into the Blackboard platform. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your classes.